It's just gone 6:15 in the morning. Sun's not up yet. It's a relatively chilly day and no clouds in the sky, but nice and dry. And we are getting up early because we may have some really cool hunting opportunities this morning. As you know, we've been doing a lot of small game hunting over the last few days, but the farmer here often needs to cull his herds of blessbuck, springbuck, mountain reedbuck, animals that can breed quite quickly when the conditions are good, like they've been in the past 2 years. And then there's also a kudu that seems to have got wounded, maybe caught its leg in a fence or something, that's struggling to walk and looks like it might not make it, so we might want to kind of shoot that as well to put it out of its misery. We're going to get going with some coffee. I see this gas is about to die, but it should make it through and boil this water for us. And as soon as we have coffee in our system, we'll quickly pop down the tent and we'll head off and hopefully get something. Back at camp, we are met by Kudu, the farm manager and PH here at Oxwagon Hunting Safaris, and we load up everything we need for the day. So we're going to be heading up the mountain, the same mountain we went up a couple days ago. We're probably going to be trying to get a mountain reedbuck ram, which will be really nice. But I've got the air gun with me on our way there because the sun's just starting to hit the trees here. So there's a chance we might see a monkey on the way, but let's see. There are no monkeys in sight, at least for now, but as we start ascending the hill, we do start to see some action. This warthog isn't on our list today, but it does give me the opportunity to showcase the awesome 8x zoom range on the Element Helix HDLR from 2x to 16x. Really impressive optical performance at this price point. After all the intense rain we've had, the road up the mountain ends up being a bit too slippery to drive, and we end up scouting the valleys instead. The animals aren't wanting to show themselves for some reason, with just a few young kudus being spotted and some bird life. As we come through a new valley that I'd actually never explored before, we find ourselves surrounded by castle-like rock structures, and with the sun about to break into the valley, we decide to switch strategies a bit and see if we can spot some dassies. Dassies, or rock hyrax as they're called in English, are small mammals that live in the rocks. You could call them the masters of the rocks actually, and places like this are paradise for them. I've been around long enough to know when a spot looks promising, and as we park off under this cliffside, we know that we're in for a treat. As the sun hits the top of the hill, a small figure emerges, and it's all action from here. Dassie there, 68 meters, but very steep, probably like 35-degree incline. So actually didn't hold for elevation at all because of those steep angles. Bullet doesn't drop as much. But yeah, there's so many dassies here at the spot. If I knew the spot existed, I would have come here a couple of days ago. But yeah, we saw like 4 of them just sitting right there on the same rock. Maybe they'll come out again. Another one does come out, and this one's a nice long shot. Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay.
That looks awesome.
That was awesome. 114 meters. It's a long shot actually. Very awkward angle. Got a bag here. I'm shooting. Sheesh, that's probably close to 45 degrees. 1.4 mils. And he was sitting nicely in the sun. We actually saw his head explode a bit there. Yeah, very cool. In the winter months, these rocks can get pretty cold, and the allure of the warm sunshine is just too much for the dassies to resist. They are actually very cautious animals, being preyed on by birds of prey and leopards, but we were able to strike from a distance with the quiet air guns, and over the years, as these guns have improved, so has our success rate.
I can't have all the fun, so I hand the impact over to Kudu.
Now you need to get yourself one of these.
What?
You need to get yourself one of these guns.
Oh yeah, no, sure. No, I'm never going to work then. I'm just going to handle that.
We came past here looking for animals and ended up finding this awesome series of rock structures over here. And as the sun started hitting these rocks, we just started seeing dassies popping up everywhere. I managed to take a few awesome shots of the impact, and then Kudu has just taken one also. But yeah, very cool. We didn't even know this spot existed. It's nice little surprises like this that keep this property and this whole series so interesting. I think every time we've come out here, we've discovered something new. Not only have we discovered an awesome dassie spot, I actually think I see another one there. Yeah, there's another dassie. But there's also an awesome camping area right here. So hey, next time we come out here, camping right here, dassies right at the campsite, awesome. But yeah, there's a dassie right there in the sun. Let's see if we can get another shot, shall we? Okay, 105 meters, 1.4 mils. 1.4. $104 meters, 1.4 mils. Again in the sun, again perfect headshot. Man, I'm so lucky to have the PCPs that I do. Between the Panthera and the Impact, these guns have just done the business for us. I think Kudu has spotted something else. But I'm needing to switch out this mag. Okay, we've got 2 more shots. Where do you see it?
Is that green bush in the sun?
Yeah.
Just before the another bush, just behind it. I just went behind that bush there. So it's going to stand on this rock here over now.
Okay.
Dassie hunting is a patience game. These animals blend in with the rocks and sometimes take a trained eye to spot, especially from this distance. We've got the impact on a tripod now, which should give us a little bit more stability, and you have to be ready to roll because they also don't hang around forever.
Don't move, don't move. There he goes. Oh.
He's gone.
Fun fact, dassies actually have the ability to retract the center of their feet to create a concave dome, which almost acts like a suction cup and allows them to stick to the rocks when moving about.
Yeah.
But when they do keep still, we are ready.
A bit high, another one.
While we've been waiting, the wind has picked up a bit, and you can see how both these shots get pushed off about half a mil. It's these small margins that count, and at these distances, it is certainly no walk in the park. Kudu finally gets another chance, and it's a tricky one because he's standing right behind a branch, but Kudu finds a way past and drops this one on the spot.
I was just shaking.
Clapped it.
This shot actually knocks it straight back. That's to be expected with a 40 grain slug and a massive hollow point. They are made to perform like little grenades. It's turned out to be a beautiful day once again, and I can tell you this, the dassies aren't the only ones looking for some sunshine. After standing in the shade the whole morning, the sun is just starting to reach us, and as I load up the Impact magazine, my fingers could do with some extra heat.
Oh, my hands are so cold. I can hardly do this.
This Impact has remained unchanged for well over a year now, and there's a very good reason for that. It's pretty much perfect for this kind of hunting, and there isn't much more to improve. It's lightweight and compact. It has a 580cc 300 bar air bottle and an 800mm barrel in a reflex silencer, giving me tons of power without adding too much length. It's a beast. And of course we have the king of scopes, the Element Theos, being recorded with a side shot scope cam. The Leo Photo tripod keeps this whole setup nice and stable while we do the business. It's safe to say that this is the best setup I've ever had. But we're going to throw it back to about 24 hours ago when we found ourselves on the neighbour's farm, because as you know, we managed to gather so much hunting footage in the previous episode that we actually couldn't include everything. So I decided to save some of the dassie footage for today. After some epic monkey hunting with the air guns and the 22-50, we made our way back to this pile of boulders to look for a few more dassies, and once again these things were everywhere. And this has to be some of the best dassie footage I've ever captured. We've got a different air gun out here, the FX Pantera, but also shooting 40 grain javelin slugs. Just look at how the eyeballs actually pop out of their cavities from the shockwave emanating from the skull. This one's a little bit closer, but the result is exactly the same. It all happens a bit fast, but we have the slow motion footage to help us see what actually happens. Another fun fact about dassies, they don't have the ability to regulate their body temperature internally very well, so like reptiles, they actually rely on shade and sunshine to cool down or warm up. When you catch them like this on a cold but sunny morning, you are bound to spot a few. And they can sometimes be in groups of up to 25 individuals. Dassies can be pests in some areas, eating about 20% of what a sheep consumes each day and damaging crops. But they are also a food source and happen to be a favorite for the local farm workers who make a traditional stew out of them. So our goal isn't to wipe them out entirely, it's to hunt them sustainably so that we can keep harvesting the meat for years to come.
There's a lot more here that we could shoot, but we're not going to. Let's rather let their population grow. These aren't really that much of a pest here. They live more on this vegetation on the side. We only really shoot them to give meat to the farm workers. So we'll go get them, we'll go retrieve the dassie we just shot, and we'll see if we can, see how many we can get. But so far, this Pantera just absolutely drills, amazingly accurate. Such a cool gun.
One last dassie for the pot, and we'll call it today.
It's hit so hard. It's crazy.
We spot many more dassies out and about, but as I said, we want to keep this sustainable, so the rest are left well alone as I put the Pantera away and prepare for a hike up the rocks.
Oh my goodness. Just eyeballs and brains everywhere. Jeez, every single one of these has been hit really hard.
That one got nailed. Another one over here. So right there in the head. You might wonder what could be making such a perfect hole. Well, when they blasted this hillside in the 1960s to create the Fish River Canal that runs all the way up from the Reedbuck Dam all the way down to the coast, they obviously had to drill through to place dynamite in or to place explosives in to blast this away. So that's what all of this rubble's from. It's not natural, it's man-made, but it's the perfect habitat for dassies who can live in the rocks and then come down here where the water's flowing, where it's nice and green, and get lots of food. Made the rookie mistake of chucking them into these seed pods that just stick to the fur, but that'll be someone else's problem to sort out. As always, we make a stop at the farm workers' houses and drop the dassies off, making an effort to distribute them as evenly as possible. But anyway, back to real time as we return to our hunt with Kutsia.
Nice!
I can still do it.
With the dassie hunting behind us, we move on to complete our initial objective of trying to get some antelope down. On the way, we pass one of the staff with his pack of hunting dogs, who were successful this morning in chasing down a livestock killer.
So we're just on our way back down the road now, and I thought I'd show you something. These hunting dogs stay at the Nell's house, and every now and again they go out, they look for predators that could eat the livestock or the game that they've got here, like
jackals, caracals, lynx, stuff like that. And this morning they got on the scent of a caracal and chased it down and got it. So yeah, there's multiple ways to do predator control. You can call in someone who's an expert at it, who gets a Fox Pro and calls them in and shoots them and stuff. But especially when it comes to the cats, they're very, very smart. So yeah, hunting with dogs is awesome. Obviously it's expensive to feed them and get their vet bills and everything, but it's also expensive to pay a jackal hunter to do it, or to go out every night and try and do it yourself. So yeah, very, very cool. With the sun well and truly out now, we're starting to see some of the species that we're actually after. These mountain reedbuck are on our list, but unfortunately we see no rams in this particular group. And then we spot this. It's a kudu bull that seems a little worse for wear, and the quick decision is made to take him out as I pull out the 260 Remington once again. So a couple days ago we came past and we saw a kudu that didn't look quite right. It looked very thin and it looked like it was hobbling a bit. And the last few days we've spotted him once or twice and seen that he's not getting any better. So yeah, we spotted him down there about 120 meters and decided that he doesn't look like he's going to recover, so rather take him out, put him out of his misery. You don't want to see animals struggling, and as custodians of the area that we hunt in, it's always important to make sure we look after all the animals. Hunting it's a lot more complicated than just shooting. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to make sure that the environment is kept healthy, and put one bit on his head, and that's the quickest, most humane death you could think of. So very happy. Well, it's been almost 10 years since I shot a kudu. I wasn't planning to shoot a kudu today, but yeah, this kudu we just see now, it's got an abscess on its leg. It must have hurt itself somewhere along the line, and it was really struggling, obviously struggling to move around, struggling to feed. It's quite thin, it's not very healthy, so the right thing to do was to take him out. Thank you very much to Kudu as well, who's just been awesome while we're out here, taking us around, just a good guy to be around and chat to, and obviously knows this area really well. So thanks to him, and obviously Anton, who owns the farm as well, for just giving us permission to be out here. Just really become a good friend of ours, and always a great host when we're out here.
If you feel behind you can feel the bones behind it. So which just means it didn't fat up or it loses weight, and that's why I was quite sick and not healthy enough to keep it up.
This kudu will be taken to the cold room, where it will be skinned and hung, and will feed many people. Much better than dying out here in the bush and going to waste. But we are not quite done yet. We are joined by Anton Senior and move towards a herd of blesbuck, hoping to get an opportunity to harvest some meat for Anton's family. We see the herd of blesbuck, but they're a little bit out of my comfort range, having just switched loads from the 95 grain VMAX to the heavier 143 grain ELDX. So when we see some mountain reedbuck a little bit further down the hill, we take the opportunity.
We've been looking for mountain reedbuck the whole morning and just weren't seeing them. They were all taking a public holiday somewhere, but yeah, we just came up a kloof over here, saw a group of them moving up the mountain and noticed there was a ram in the group, so got set up pretty quickly. I've been using the 95 grain VMAXs in my 260 for the past few weeks, and I didn't have a profile on my phone or on the turret tape or anything for the 143 LDXs, so to dig around in Throwback Pro somewhere, find the right bullet, put it in, put the distance in 180 meters, then I had to find the incline angle with the
on Strelok and figured it all out, dialed a mill and took the shot, and yeah, he went straight down. So I haven't seen the trigger cam footage yet, but I see the exit out the back here. It's a little bit high at the back, but because of the angle I would expect it was pretty much perfect in the front. So very happy. Nice mountain reedbuck. It's a great way to end the day. Once again, just thanks to the guys at Witmoskloof, to Anton and Kutsia for taking us out here and being great hosts. And yeah, fantastic to end the day like this.
Well, now we can find him a wife on TV.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Kutsia, being the brilliant PH that he is, insists on carrying the animal down himself, and we soon find ourselves back in the familiar place of loading some meat onto the bakkie.
We're basically on our way home now. We've packed up everything. We are ready to head back home. But as we were coming back from hunting the mountain reedbuck, we drove past a section here near this game capture area where the grass looked a little bit shorter, and we started seeing little heads pop up everywhere, and we realized there are tons of ground squirrels here that we didn't even know existed. So we've come out here with the Leofoto tripod again with the impact. It's going to be our last try at getting some ground squirrels down, so hopefully we can get a couple. Seeing some movement, so let's get at it, shall we? Got it. 76 meters, 0.6 mils. Just saw his head poking up. It's quite hard to range a small target like that at this angle, because if you just miss the actual animal, you could be 20 meters behind. If you just catch a blade of grass in front, you could be 20 meters forward, and then that's your shot gone. It's nice to get some action with the impact after a few days of action with the Pantera. Let's see if we can get more.
Another one pops up nice and close, and this shot's pretty straightforward.
Well, that one was a bit closer. Felt a little bit shaky there, but managed to put in a good shot, so that's awesome.
We keep an eye peeled for ground squirrels, but get a lovely surprise as a monkey face pops up about 60 to 70 meters away.
Got him.
Took a while, but we finally got our first monkey of the day. It's so weird, we haven't seen any monkeys today at all, which is very strange. But the first one we saw was this guy. He just stuck his head up here in the grass. Big mistake. I didn't even have time to range him, but I just guessed. And held about 1.5 mil over, I think it was, and yeah, a good shot to the head. So he's done and dusted, and we didn't go through today without getting a monkey. That would have been sad. Awesome.
The time has come, unfortunately, for us to pack up and head home. What a week it has been, with so much happening, but all good things have to come to an end. On our way out, we get one last opportunity as we see some stolen corn lying on the road and spot the perpetrators in a tree in the distance. This is a job for the 22-250 to wrap things up.
Unfortunately, resting on my knee like this is a little bit too much recoil, so I can't really see whether I've hit that monkey or not. It sounded like it.
He fell up a tree, I saw it.
You see it? Okay. Well then he's dead.
As always, we appreciate anyone who took the time to watch these videos, and we hope you've enjoyed them. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so, and we'll catch you on the next episode.